All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, the Hamashiach Yahushua, who some call Yeshua, Yahashua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. I seen this on TikTok. Same sermon. And something I always knew is that, that I learned a while ago when I started first doing lessons and stuff. They had sites where you could buy sermons. They have websites where you can buy a sermon. And I never seen them, but I would think that they would just be like an outline, something. But evidently these things are what you're supposed to say word for word. You don't have to, I guess you could add something to it, but you don't have to add nothing to it. We're going to give you everything that you should say in this sermon. Everything that you should say in this sermon. And you have people like Michael Todd. I don't think Michael Todd know the Bible like that. Like, he know the Bible, but he don't know. He's not one that you can just get on. I don't really see him on any platform just talking scripture, and he's just randomly just talking scripture, or he's being asked questions, and he's open about taking questions and then giving breakdowns and stuff of scripture. I don't see Michael Todd doing that. Not to say he don't, maybe he does, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it with a lot of pastors, to be honest. I ain't seen it from no Joel Osteen or Geno Jennings does it. But I think, this is my opinion. I think some of that stuff is fabricated. I think some of those questions the staff is making up, and then he making it seem like somebody writing in questions. But anyway, it could be possible. Could be true also. So I ain't trying to offend. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking my mind. Let's play this thing here. See what he's talking about. Watch how crazy this is.
Firstborn, now we'll talk about this, of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb.
But it is mine.
Mine. Firstborn, now we'll talk about this, of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb.
But every firstborn of a donkey, this is going to make sense in just a second, stay with me, you shall redeem with the lamb.
How do you know which to do?
How do you know which one to do?
The donkey represents unclean animals, and the lamb represents clean.
A donkey was considered an unclean animal, and a lamb was considered a clean animal.
Were we born into this world, were we clean or unclean? We were all born in sin, right?
Were you and I born spiritually clean or unclean? We were all unclean.
Experts here, the parents, did you have to teach your children to be bad?
Because we can ask all the experts in the room. You didn't have to teach your kids how to be bad.
Was Jesus born unclean or clean?
Was Jesus born clean or unclean?
Jesus had to be sacrificed so that the unclean could be redeemed.
He had to be sacrificed on a cross so that the unclean, God, I'm about to preach this, could be redeemed.
Jesus is God's tithe.
Watch this. Oh, I love the Bible.
Oh, man. And that's why they put him in that church, man. It's business, man. I believe my brother do it a little better, man. And he gonna put them seats in there. He don't have to do all the antics. His crowd don't need that. These so-called Negroes, we need them little antics and stuff, and he gonna sell it. That's what Michael Todd gonna sell them.
Watch this. Oh, I love the Bible. Jesus.
Because we kids, man. Spiritually, man, we children. And that's why he does the certain antics that he does inside that, man. People love that. Because that's the learning level we're at. We can't get into these books, man. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to dive into this text. They want the bubble gum.
is God's tithe.
It's the first 10% because it takes faith to give the first.
It doesn't take faith to give the 10th one. It takes faith to give the first. It is.
What y'all think, man? What y'all think about that? Would you be comfortable with your pastor doing that? Would you be comfortable with your pastor not coming up with his own sermons, just reading off a piece of paper? Really, they're just actors. Really, they're just actors. And that's good for business. It's safer. See, somebody who's a student, that's why they don't deal. You don't see a lot of scholarly theologians that have churches like that. It's very, very few that are, PhDs going like James White and Dr. Brown. It's like a lot of apologists. They don't have churches. Cause nobody want to hear that mess. Don't want to hear all that. Everybody want to get into talking about or a smart Christian. Nobody want to be in that church doing that. It's a select kind of people that want to sit there and hear that. Right? It's a select view of people, and there are a lot of people, but not enough to start a church with that kind of. Some people are like that. Tony Evans is allegedly kind of scholarly, where he's written a commentary. He's pretty much the only black man with a commentary, but he done stepped down now, allegedly because of sin, whatever that sin was. But what do you think about a pastor that's just reading from a script, that has memorized the script? And again, I was saying it was safer because the you have to go to a banking system. I remember this video I seen with Bishop Nathaniel from IUIC talking about them needing a space, and it was trying to buy this church for $1 million. He's like, man, where y'all get $1 million from? How y'all get $1 million? And the dude told him, hey man, the pastor told him, hey man, we get the loan from the church. Like a lot of these churches, like the Baptist church, the Methodist church, they got organizations and they loan the money out. They'll loan the money out. If your doctrine aligns with their doctrine and you're going to teach what they teach, you can get a loan through their program, but you probably going to have to go to some of their schools, some of their seminary, learn some of what they got going on in order for you to take parts of those benefits. And that's only right. If you want benefits from their system, you're going to have to be embedded with their system. You ain't going to just be able to glean and take from something that, you're not trying to be a part of. Same thing with Judaism. You want to practice Judaism and you want to get some of the benefits from being a Jew within that system, you're going to have to go and convert and do what them folks tell you to do. That's just the way it's going to work. Just like the Homa Israelites that went out there and built the community, and they end up having to, all they kids have to go to the military. They had to sign up in order for them to get their citizenship. You have to play ball, man. It's just the way these things work. If you want those benefits, if you want to operate within their realm and use some of their resources, you're gonna have to play in their system. And so if them issuing out those loans is just a safer bet, then let me just put the sermons for them. Let me put all the sermons on a DVD, or I can put them in this little library, this little online library for them, and then they can just hit play the night before, memorize that thing, and then we can have this stuff strolling on the especially with the mega churches like that. They probably got that stuff on the what they call that thing that stroll them words down, teleprompter. Probably got that stuff rolling down the teleprompter, man. Or they going back to the iPad to try to memorize the part. So they're rehearsing the day before, the night before, maybe 2-3 days before, And then they go out and do the exact same thing, man. Every time. And you know, he probably preaching that sermon twice a year. The exact same way. You know, the same. Oh man, because it's entertainment. And it's entertainment, man. This ain't older, you know. And then they might even lie and say something like that, like the you know, the Most High gave me this word today, and then you go out there and rehearse the exact same, to rehearse something that you reading off a piece of paper, or some sermon that you bought online. Man, God ain't give you that, man. Don't be lying on the Lord like that. The Lord ain't give you that word, man. You got that word at www.buyersermon.com. And you came out here and finessed the people. But again, I think the powers that be that run these organizations, they like that kind of thing. I'm not saying all pastors, like there are some great pastors out there that can, you know, go through some verses. They've been doing it long enough, but there are a lot of pastors that are springing up. You're like, where did you come from? How did you just jump into a mega church? Usually got to go from a storefront to a little small church to, you know, to the big boy. How you just jump straight into the big boy? And that's because they can trust you to do that based off your character and your charisma. You know, can you work the crowd? And they train you up. That's what you see Pastor T.D. Jakes doing. He trains up a lot of these folks. And then they you know, he's producing a factory of these folks. Joel Osteen also. I forget that brother that came out of from Joel Osteen. What's that brother name, man? Had a couple of situations with him, you know, cheating on his wife. John Gray? Pastor John Gray. I want to say Pastor John Gray, his name. He's one of them also. That's, you know, probably buying the sermons or getting the sermons somewhere, and he can act them out. He's act them out. I think he was a Christian comedian at first initially. And then he got into, you know, just staying under the wing of Osteen and got an opportunity and you know, he been rolling ever since, man. But what do y'all think, man? Is this what we need? Is this helpful? Or is this thing just getting so watered down that that initially we gonna get to the point where we got AI up here teaching? Because it's nothing. If y'all know about AI, and you know the power of AI right now, even me sitting up here, you wouldn't know that I was an AI. They got video and apps that you can buy right now. You can just type the stuff in. You can type in one of those sermons that them jokers done bought, and that AI sit up there on that screen and do the exact same thing. And you don't need to pay nobody, you know, millions of dollars to shepherd that flock. But, you know, again, that AI doesn't have that. You don't get to personalize and have this relationship with that pastor and say, oh, that's my pastor. Look at him do this. Look at him do that. So I think the AI may fall in that sense, but far as doing what they just did, that AI can do it. It'll be, you know, they can do that now. AI can do that right now. You can make a whole YouTube page off of AI and getting those sermons. Find them sermons, put an AI character with it, make a YouTube channel. Through the roof. Anyway, y'all, I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all hit the comments. Tell me what y'all think. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom.